Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Yo, what's up, NBA fans? Hope you're having an amazing day. If you're new here, I'm Azad Hoops. I make daily basketball content. So, if you're interested in that, think about subscribing. Also, hit the like button down below. Helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it as well. So, let's get into this video. So, as we all know, the trade deadline is approaching us very, very quickly, and we're less than 2 weeks away, if I'm not mistaken at this point. There's been a lot of players in the trade rumors this year, and I think we have a crazy trade deadline. But we're not going to be talking about just the trade deadline specifically, but more of the Victor Oladipo trade situation. Now, we know he got traded for James Harden. We know he turned down an extension from the Rockets. We know that he's on the last year of his deal, and it would be a tragedy if the Rockets lost a huge piece of that James Harden deal for nothing in the offseason. You know, that's their franchise star they traded. They don't want to lose one of the biggest pieces of that trade for nothing. So if they can go ahead and trade him, get some more assets, and help their rebuild they just started even more, I think that would be a great move. And we all know that the Warriors have been in the trade rumors for trading for Victor Oladipo. I think they have the most realistic and the best package they can offer, and I highly expect Oladipo to be on the Golden State Warriors by the trade deadline. Now we're going to be talking about what kind of trade the Warriors may give up, because I think there's a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different trades they can make to get him, and also why the NBA is scared of this deal happening. So we all know back when the Warriors had Kevin Durant, they were one of the best teams of all time, one of the most unstoppable teams. Now, no, if they got Victor Oladipo, he would be no Kevin Durant, not by any stretch of the imagination. But looking at this team, they still have Curry, still have Klay, still have Draymond. And if I'm really looking at it, it's like, yes, they won't have KD, but just say, for example, the trade I'm thinking that's probably most likely will be trading Andrew Wiggins and the Minnesota Timberwolves top 3 protected pick, which is a very valuable pick considering how bad the Timberwolves are. So, you trade those two, you would still have Kelly Oubre, still have James Wiseman. So you're talking about still having the big 3 Warriors, having Victor Oladipo, so you may not have Kevin Durant anymore, but you would have Oubre and Wiseman on top of that. So you might not have the star power they did before, as the drop-off from Kevin Durant to Oladipo was massive. We're talking about an all-time great to just a guy that's maybe like a top 30 player in the NBA at the moment. But you also get an up-and-coming star in James Wiseman, who can definitely hold his own on defense. The best center they've had on this entire Warriors run since Curry has been on the team. And you have Kelly Oubre Jr., who they could bring off the bench at that point, and he will be a massive contributor. I mean, he's still a young player. He's still 25 years old. Still has a lot to improve. He might have started the season off slow. People made fun of him. I made fun of him, man. I mean, he was shooting like 4% from 3. It was terrible. But ever since then, I think he shot like 41% from 3. He's proving that he's a good shooter out there. He's one of the best putback dunkers in the league. He can dunk like it, no matter how little space he gets. He has like I see him dunk like 2-3 times a game. Seems like every single time. But this will be a very expensive team. Yes, they'll be deep in the luxury tax. But if this team wants to win now, if they want to win why these players are as young as they're going to be, Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, they're not getting any younger, they're getting older. Yes, their games will age well, because Curry's the best shooter of all time. Klay's second best shooter of all time. They're going to age very, very well. But at the same time, you want to go ahead and get all the pieces around these guys while you can, as soon as you can, to give you the biggest window of opportunity. I think Victor Oladipo does this because, well, he's another star to add to this already star-studded roster. And the way I've seen how aggressive the Warriors have been in the past in terms of attacking, getting the top-tier talent, I will not put it past them to get rid of Wiggins in that Timberwolves pick, go ahead and bring in Oladipo, keep Oubre, pay the tax, and go all in. Get a few veterans next year on the veterans minimum. They're still good players, and they can go like 8 or 9 deep with really, really good players, and they will be one of the scariest teams in the NBA. Honestly, if that specific trade happens, I think they will pretty much be another dynasty like they were before. I've said this time and time again. I think this is going to be an extremely scary team. And my prediction before I even thought about this trade was that they're just going to be the 2022 NBA champions. They're going to get Klay Thompson back. They're going to make a big trade. This could be their big trade. If they do it, man, don't sleep on the Warriors, man. It's going to be exciting. Now, you may be asking, why would the Rockets only get the Minnesota Timberwolves pick and Andrew Wiggins for Victor Oladipo? You're like, yeah, that pick's good, but Andrew Wiggins is at this point, and even though he's had a good season this year, he's still not the best asset, and that's like all we get is a pick for him. Well, think about it. Like I said earlier, he's on the last year of his deal. He's probably going to leave y'all, and although he is a good player, and I think he can improve the Warriors roster a lot, he's coming off some injuries, and he's definitely not 100%. He's shooting below 40% this year. He has a lot to work on, a lot to improve on to get back to the play he was at before. And it's going to take some time. I think going to the Warriors, where he has a lot of other good teammates, it will alleviate some of that stress. He won't be pampered like to play at the top tier level right now. He can slowly work his way into that role. It may take a year. We saw Mike Conley when he went to Utah. He wasn't injured before, but it took him about a year to get to his full, get fully comfortable play at his full potential. And now he's finally playing amazing in Utah. I think it could take about that amount of time over there for Oladipo. But when it does work out, this is going to be a scary, scary thing. I don't like it just because of his offensive ability, but also the other things he brings to the table. He's a great defender. They'll be able to switch 2 through 4 with Oladipo, Klay Thompson, and Draymond, and they would have Kelly Oubre off the bench. Not to mention, they've always ran the offense playmaking-wise through Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Well, Oladipo's another playmaker they would bring in. He'll be able to move the ball, facilitate it, and bring another dynamic to the team, which I think could definitely help him out a lot. We saw Kevin Durant, just him coming in with his 5 assists per game. It helped them out a lot in terms of how they move the ball, and I think Oladipo could be a similar situation to that, along with just, he's just going to be a worse version of Kevin Durant. Not comparing him anything like that. I'm just saying they're going to have a 4-star on the team, and, when they have that 4-star, they're just overpowered because they're already amazing if they can actually get Klay Thompson back on the floor healthy, which has been a while since that happened. And I think some fans are underrating just how big of an impact Klay Thompson probably will have when he finally comes back. Even though he's had these big injuries, I don't care, man. He is going to light the NBA up. I don't want to see another crazy run by the Warriors. So if we've already seen that, I don't need to see it again. But in my opinion, if this trade happens, there's not really a team that can stop them. And I think that's why the NBA is going to be very, very scared of this trade happening. Warriors fans are probably going to be happy, but, oh man, it's going to be crazy. Now, other trades I could see happening. Maybe if you don't want to give up Wiggins, maybe you just give up Oubre in the Timberwolves pick. Maybe you give up Oubre and like 2 of your own first rounders, keep Timberwolves pick. Maybe you give up James Wiseman and Kelly Oubre. There's a lot of different scenarios. I would not give up the Minnesota pick and James Wiseman at the same time. That's too much, way too much to give up. Because, like I said, he's on an expiring contract. He could leave y'all after 1 year. Imagine giving up the Minnesota Timberwolves pick and James Wiseman for 1 year, half a year, really, of Oladipo, who wouldn't even play with Klay Thompson. That would be an absolute waste. So, don't give up more than one of those assets because there's no assurances here. Things could go bad. He might not be committed to y'all. So, just give up either to Wiseman or the pick. I would prefer to give up Minnesota pick because I think Wiseman is going to be an absolute beast. But if it takes Wiseman, even then, I don't know. Because why would you do that? He's the best center you've had this entire run. So, really, in my opinion, as long as they take that Minnesota pick along with one of the other salaries, go ahead and do that. You can have one of the deepest benches you've had, the best center you had, and you can still have your big 3, and you will have a new star. No, like I said, he's not a KD, but they won a championship without KD, so, it's not like this team was nothing before KD, and they can definitely use the help from Oladipo, because these guys aren't getting any younger, like I said, so, yeah, that's all I got time for today. If y'all like the video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it a lot. 2022 champions, I'm calling them now. But, yeah, I'll see y'all later.